welcome to this Mario board and welcome to what might potentially be one of, if not the most important equations you will ever see, right? And so you're probably thinking, how are some random letters on a screen drawn by some random kid with some handwriting going to change my life? And so I'm actually going to show you right now, okay? So this is what it looks like. C plus PE to the power of T equals D, right? So the first thing we have to do is kind of define this. So we have D, we have C, we have P, E, and T, and then we also have that little exponent thing, okay? So first of all, D. Now this is the most important thing because it's what, it's what the outcome is, and it's what we're really trying to do, and it's what we're trying to get, right? So the D is your dream, right? So maybe this is 1 million in your bank. Maybe this is 10K per month. I know for a lot of you, it is probably 10K per month. And defining this is really of utmost importance, right? And most people go through life and they don't even get this part done, right? All this other stuff is important, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the first part done. If you haven't defined where you want to go, it's like going into an airport and not knowing what flight you're going to catch and just catching a random flight, right? Without this, you have no trajectory, and with no trajectory, all you really have is chaos, and you're basically fucked. Okay, so dream, very very important. Next thing is C, and so what C stands for is your current situation. Okay, so it's where you are right now, and you want to basically define it in the same way that you did your dream. So if you define your dream in a monetary way, so maybe, for example, it's 10K per month, monetary, you want to define that as well in your current situation. So maybe your current situation is 1K in the bank, or maybe it's, 0K per month. I want you to define your current situation in the same way that you define your dream situation. And this is really what the dream is. It's not just a dream, it's a dream situation, okay? And yeah, so make sure 1 million, 1K, like if you're a gym owner and you want to get 1,000 members, your current situation is 50 members, right? The next thing is P. Now what P is your plan, okay? So we have your dream and we have current situation, but obviously, to get there, you need to have a vehicle. And with that vehicle, you need to create a plan of how you're going to get from your current situation to your dream desired situation, okay? And so what this is going to look like, if you're in our space, the SMMA space, the agency space, it's going to look like, picking a niche, making an offer, all like the basic stuff, doing outreach, getting, a mentor, the things that are really going to help you a lot. This is just very, very basic stuff. What is your plan? And a really nice way that you can make this plan is using something called a chain of action. And what this basically is, I have it right here, I'll show you. You can kind of see 2024 chain of action. What a chain of action is basically a macro to-do list. So over the next 3, 6, 8, 12, 24 months, what do you have to do, right? So maybe it is, 10K per month, sign 10 clients, right? That's some pretty shit handwriting. Like scale, like long term. What this phrase describes it perfectly is a macro to-do list. That's all we're really trying to do here, is create a macro to-do list with your plan. Okay? So that's plan. The next thing, E, is execution. I don't know how to fucking spell these days, bro. Execution, right? So it's going to be, how are you going to put that plan into practice? So this might look like no smoking, no alcohol, just like, not just the plan, but how you're executing it. Probably going to be things like no TV, no scrolling, no alcohol, no smoking, making a habit tracker, putting every, waking thought that you have into the work. And the next thing, which is arguably one of, if not the most important, maybe just below dream, is these two, right? So we have time, and we have time as an exponent, right? So time will be something like 1 year, 5 years, whatever it happens to be, okay? And so the way exponents work, I'm sure, if you've been through, I don't know, year 10, you probably understand what exponent is, but it's like, 5 to the power of 2, is 25, but you know, like something like 5 to the power of 10 is like, it's like 9,700,000, whatever. Like, so as you can see, the way exponent works, it's in the name, it's exponential. And so the longer time frame, the more exponential the results will be, okay? And this is really the most important thing to understand. Like, the thing about money is time, okay? Time elapsing is the only way anything can really happen. You need to really understand time, and most people don't. And it's kind of like an effect of memory versus time, which is actually a really important topic that I'm going to discuss later in this video. But just for now, understand time is going to be an exponential scaling factor, and the more time that elapses, the more money you're going to make. Okay, so let's put all of this back into the equation, right? So we have current situation, which is maybe 1k plus p, which is plan. So let's just say plus plan, because, you know, it's just here. So plus this stuff times E, so executing the plan, so no drugs, no alcohol, no nothing, and, you know, spending every single waking moment on the plan, and then to the power, so it's exponent of time, so maybe that's 3 years equals your dream, which is maybe, you know, let's say 30k per month, right? So right now you're at 1k, let's say you're at 1k per month, just so these two can align. 1k per month plus a plan of picking a good niche, creating a grand slam offer, doing a bunch of outreach, getting a mentor, signing 10 clients, scaling, whatever, you know, your macro to-do list is, which is going to look, you know, something like this. I have like 10 steps in this thing for the next 12 months. That's your plan. And then execution. So, you know, what are you doing every single day? As you can see, it's there and there, bunch of habit trackers. That's kind of me mapping out my execution. And, you know, it's also stuff like not drinking, not smoking, and putting all your thoughts into it. And then time, so time as an exponent. So we're saying, you know, for this example, we're giving you 3 years equals $30,000 per month. And so it really seems so simple, but I can guarantee you that if this equation was all you focused on, and you did this, you've spent like a whole day doing this, clearly defining your dream, maybe it's $1 million, clearly defining your current situation, your plan, execution, and the time frame. If you were to do this and actually put a lot of thought in it, like if I were you, you know, spend like 3, 4, 5 hours on the plan, then 3, 4, 5 hours on execution, and how you're actually going to do it, there is no real way, besides, you know, fucking up in the execution stage, that you won't achieve it. People don't understand this. People think that it's luck, and people suffer because of this, right? Because people's beliefs that it's luck and, you know, it won't happen to them are out of alignment with reality. And, you know, reality is anybody can do it. They just need to understand, you know, it's very simple, and all it is the cause and effect nature. And using this equation, that causes suffering and that causes pain, right? And so there's 3 main reasons why people can't really understand it, and why people suffer, and why people don't get what they want. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that right now. So there's 3 big things. Okay, oh shit, that's a 2. There is 3 big things. So we have number 1, number 2, and number 3. So what number 1 is knowledge. Okay, so knowledge. Oh god. Knowledge, okay? So this is really the most important thing, right? Knowledge is power. And without it, like, there's no way you're going to do anything. You can't use this formula if you don't even have the knowledge that the formula exists, right? So by taking action and, you know, watching a video like this, you're gaining knowledge that is important, and you're on the right track, right? And so, you know, someone can't build a $30,000 per month agency if they don't know what an agency is. So you have to have the right knowledge, and, you know, it's really good to have knowledge knowledge is really like the core fundamental thing. You know, it's so simple to explain, but it's so vital to your success, okay? So number 1, knowledge. Number 2 is your memory. And you probably weren't expecting me to do this, but memory is going to be very, very important for you. You have to understand that your memories are actually very malleable, and most people just believe that what they remember is absolute fact, and there's no misinterpretations, right? You have to understand that a lot of the times your memories will be misaligned with reality, okay? And this is very, very important, because let's say that over the past month, we did 1,500 cold DMs. And today, for the past 3 days, you started doing something new. And in the past 3 days, you booked 5 meetings. Now, what you're going to think, because of how memory isn't perfect, you're going to think, in the past 3 days, I started doing this new thing. And, in the past 3 days, I've also booked 5 meetings. So, me switching and doing this new thing is what's booking me meetings. But in reality, the thing that actually booked me meetings was the cold DMs that you did 2, 3, or 4 weeks ago, right? And so your kind of false memory is going to be that you switching is what got you meetings. But in reality, it's just the latency from the cold DMs that got you meetings, right? It's cold DMs plus time that got you meetings. It's not changing to the new thing. But because your memory isn't perfect and your memory is fallible and it's open to misinterpretation, you're going to think that you changing is what got you that result. And that's going to lead to, you trying to change again and do this new thing, which is misaligned with reality. So you changing isn't actually going to get you anything. So you're going to be in a lot of suffering and a lot of pain because you won't understand. You think that changing is what gets you meetings, but in reality, you remembered wrong. Okay, so memory is so important. And the third thing here is really just time. Okay, people struggle because of memory. People struggle to associate things that are in between time periods with each other, right? So let's say you did a cold DM 1 month ago, and then today that turns into a meeting. People struggle to associate the cold DM that you did 1 month ago to the meeting, okay? And that's going to happen because that's what we call latency. So let's say, you have a tap here, right? It's a bit of a dodgy tap. And then you have like the thing that you use to make the tap run. I don't know what it's called. And then you have kind of like a system here. And then you have like a pool here at the end, right? And then obviously, if I can change this, water, when you turn this on, water is going to flow through the system, right? It's going to come down here and it's going to end up in this pool, okay? So let's say that on the 1st of January, 2024, you turned on this tap. And for me, as you can see here, it's the 9th. So let's say on the 9th of January, 2024, 2024, you get, this pool here becomes full. Even though it's kind of obvious here that the reason that this pool is full is because of the actions that you took on the 1st of January 2024, a lot of the times you're not going to see that, right? And maybe on the 8th of January, you actually, maybe on the 7th of January 2024, you turned it off, right? So on the 1st, you turned it on, and on the 7th, you turned it off. A lot of the time, you're actually going to relate this outcome, which is the full pool, with you turning it off, right? And so we can kind of see here, memory and time are definitely like interlinked, right? The longer something takes, the further away in time that something happened, the less likely that we are to kind of associate it with the output that it gave us today. And so there's actually 2 really important graphs that I want to show you. Okay, so if I can just, draw a graph here. So there's 2 exponential curves, right? So there's one here. And what this one is effect versus time, right? So we have time here. And so maybe this is like, money. And then this is like, years. So over years, not a lot of money. And then over time, there's an exponential curve and you start to make a fuck ton of money, right? Like right now, I'll put up a picture of, for example, Warren Buffett's net worth. And you can see his net worth basically follows this exponential curve. But there's a big issue here, okay? And that big issue is there's another exponential curve. And it goes this way, right? Exponential curve here. And this one is also, time. But what this is really measuring right now is your memory. Okay? And so you have a great memory of what you did, 2 minutes ago, but it exponentially decreases. So if I would ask you, 2 weeks ago, what did you eat for lunch? And 4 months ago, what was the second video you watched on YouTube that day? You would have no idea, right? This is why we keep forgetting what caused the effects we're getting now, right? So look at this. This is super important, so let's look at it. What we do here, in this spot, is where we get little to no effect, but we have a lot of memory of it, okay? and we get no, effect here in terms of money, but we remember, the very, very hard work that we have to do, and it's not paying off. We're not seeing any results. But then on this side, we have a very, very high level effect, but we don't remember what we're doing. So let's look at how this works, okay? The actions that we take right here, we have a lot of memory of. But here's the big thing. We have a memory that these actions that we're doing right here give us no effect. But in, 10 plus years time, it is these actions that cause this exponential growth in, money or in effect, right? But at this exponential growth, we don't remember the actions that we did. So if you look at a guy right now like Sam Ovens, who is actually the person that I learned all of this from, Sam Ovens right now, he sold consulting.com for a fuck ton of money, and now he owns school.com, right? His net worth is probably, in the 9-figure range, okay? And the reason Sam Ovens is there, the cause for the effect of a 9-figure network is the work that he put in here in New Zealand, in his parents' garage, failing 3 businesses, and, signing his first client and doing cold calls. The cold calls that he did probably like 10 years ago now, probably even more than that, that cause is the reason for the effect of, where he's at now, which is all the way up here, $100 million. And this kind of concept is really difficult to understand, especially with such a shit Mario drawing. But just really thinking about this and thinking about, these two curves, the exponential, decrease in memory and exponential decrease in effect, the key to understanding this and the key to remembering is understanding and accepting that naturally you're not going to remember, and coming back to and looking at this again and again and again and thinking, what was the real cause, right? I hope this makes sense. If you want me to make a much longer video explaining knowledge, memory, time, and explaining this equation in a lot more detail, just let me know and I'll make it. But yeah, this is really this curve versus this curve, these 3 things, and this equation. All of this stuff is basically just natural law, right? That's what it is. All this stuff is understanding natural law, okay? And so people say business is luck. People say, it's up to chance. Everybody who's gotten successful is just lucky. There is no luck. There's only natural law, okay? So I hope I've explained that properly to you. And, any questions that you have, leave that in the comments. And just comment if you want me to make like a longer video where I can actually, go over this in extreme detail. And I will, because I'm happy to, because this is really the most important thing that'll actually get you results, okay? So please do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next one, okay? See ya. Bye-bye.